Good evening, guys.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
In previous class, we discussed concentration terms, molarity, and mole fraction. I think only 3 problems are completed, 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. Now 2.4, question number. Note down question. Calculate the mass of urea.
Sir, is this in-text question?
What?
Is this in-text question, sir? 2.4.
Sorry?
Is this in-text question, sir?
Yes, it is in-text question. Calculate the mass of urea. Formula NH2CONH2. Required in making required in making 2.5 kg of 0.25 molal aqueous solution. Molal aqueous solution. See, it's molality based question. Careful, Mahia. 0.25 molal. Molal means molality. Molality. Molar means molarity. Now, molality formula: mass of solute divided by molar mass of solute thousand by mass of solvent.
So we don't need 1000, no, sir, because it's already in kgs.
Yes. If it is in kg, you take here 1. 1 by mass of solvent in
Yes, sir, but
kilogram. It is convenient. 1 divided by molar mass of solvent in kilogram. Substitute now. Molality 0.25. Mass of solute we have to calculate the M solute. Best is W. Molar mass of solute. Molar mass of urea. N2H4CO.
60, sir.
28 plus 4 plus 12 plus 16.
60.
60 into 1 by 2.5 kg. Solvent mass is 2.5 kg. Solute mass. (0.25 into 60 into 2.5). multiply 10, this is 2.5, and that's also 2.5 to 6. 2.5 into 2.5.
37.5.
Total 47 point.
37.5.
37, sir.
Correct?
37.
37. Okay, next question, 2.5. First one, calculate A, molality, B, molarity, C, mole fraction of Ki if the density of the density of 20% mass by mass aqueous potassium iodide is 1.202 gram per cc. Okay, the solution. What is the meaning of 20% aqueous Ki?
20 grams of
20 grams of
Ki.
And 80 grams of water.
80 grams of water. Very good. So right, 20% of Ki means 20 grams of Ki present in 80 grams water. So in first one, calculate number of moles of Ki and number of moles of water. Number of moles of water is equal to 80 grams. We have water. 80 divided by its molar mass 18. How much? 80 divided by 18. 4.44. Number of moles of potassium iodide. 20 grams divided by mass of Ki. Potassium 39 plus iodine is 127. Total
166, sir. So 166.
166. 20 divided by 166.
0.120.
0.120. Okay, now it right. 0.12 mole. Okay. Next, first of all, we'll calculate mole fraction. Mole fraction of Ki is equal to number of moles of Ki divided by number of moles of Ki plus water. 0.12 divided by 0.12 plus 4.44. Calculate this value.
So 0.026.
0.02.
026.
Okay.
6.
0.026. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Write this one. Mole fraction. It's completed up to here. C. Then B. Molality. Molality formula.
Sir, B.
Yes.
Sir, B is molarity, sir.
B is okay. Okay. First we will calculate A. Molality. Molality is equal to weight of solute divided by molar mass into 1000 by mass of solvent. Look here. Mass of solute and molar mass. Already we calculated this value. Solute is potassium iodide 20 grams and its molar mass is 166 into 1000 by mass of solvent. Solvent is water. Mass of water is 80 grams. 20% means 20 grams of Ki and 80 grams of water. Here 80 grams. 20 divided by 166, you know that value 0.12 into 1000 by or 100 by 8. Twelve divided by 8. 1.5 mole per kilogram. Next to be molarity. Same, weight of solute divided by molar mass. The 1000 by volume of solution. Weight of solute in that is 20 divided by 166. 1000. Volume of solution. We have to calculate volume of solution. Mass of solution is 100 grams
So
because
density
it is 20% solution and density also given. So if you complete A, then calculate here volume of solution. Otherwise side you calculate. Density is equal to mass by volume. Volume is equal to mass by density. Mass of solution is 100 grams. Don't take 80. 80 is only solvent, water. And in that 20 grams of Ki is dissolved. Totally 100 grams. Divided by density is 1.202. Calculate this guy. 100 divided by 122. Sorry, 1.202. How much?
Sir, 83.19.
83.19. So this is 0.12. For the next step is molarity is equal to 0.12 to 1000 by 83.19. 120 divided by 83.19. Find out this value.
Sir, is it 1.44?
That's correct. Molarity 1.44 something is there. 1 point. Right, 1.4.
It's 1.442.
Ah, yes, then write 1.45. So side write this one. Here volume of solution is V is equal to 83.19 ml. Completed?
Yes, sir.
Next concept, solubility. See, solubility means the amount of substance that's soluble in given amount of a specific solvent at a specific temperature. The solubility of a substance is the amount of that dissolved in a specific solvent at a specific temperature. So note down first definition. Solubility of a substance is amount of that dissolved in a specific solvent at a specific temperature. This solubility of a substance in a given solvent depends upon the following factors.
So, solubility of a substance is what's after is I can't
The
see.
solubility of a substance is amount of that dissolved in a specific solvent at a specific temperature. Now, solubility depends on the following factors. First factor is nature of solute and solvent. Second one, temperature. Next, pressure. So here we are discussing about two types of solutions. One is solid in liquid solution and gas in liquid solution. Solubility, first one. Solubility of solid in liquid. Here we have to discuss these three factors. You already know this point. Polar solute soluble in polar solvent and non-polar solute soluble in non-polar solvent. Most of the inorganic salts like NaCl, KCl, MgSO4 and cesium sulfate, many inorganic salts are easily soluble in water because those inorganic salts are polar and water also polar. So polar solute soluble in polar solvent. And non-polar solute like organic substances. All organic substances are not soluble in water, but those are easily soluble in organic solvents. So polar solute soluble in polar solvents, non-polar solvents, non-polar solute soluble in non-polar solvents. And here one more thing, solute plus solvent, there exists a equilibrium. Careful, listen here. No need to draw this diagram, just listen. Here some amount of solute is added to the solvent. So some amount of solute is dissolved. So those dissolved particles collide with the undissolved solute particles and then crystallize. And some crystallized solute particles dissolve in solvent. Here two processes are happening. One is dissolution and another one is crystallization. So here one equilibrium is exists. That equilibrium we are calling dynamic equilibrium. Already we studied this in equilibrium chapter 11 standard. Here rate of dissolution of solid solute or solute becomes equal to rate of crystallization. This is only we are calling dynamic equilibrium. When some solid solute is added to the solvent, there exists some dynamic equilibrium. That solution we are calling saturated solution. So write here definition. No more solute can be dissolved at the same temperature and pressure. Called saturated solution. So in saturated solution, this dynamic equilibrium is existed. Right, this saturated solution, this point also note down. Completed? Saturated solution definition.
Yes, sir, completed.
Okay. Then see the effect of one more. No need to write that definition. Just listen. Unsaturated solution. In that solution, we can dissolve large amount of solute. Such type of solutions are called unsaturated solution, and supersaturated solutions also there. So solution which contain a large amount of solute. So that is actually possible at a high temperature. Suppose sugar is soluble in water at high temperature. That solution we are calling supersaturated solution. So those definitions are not mandatory. Now effect of temperature. So solubility of solid in liquid, these two types. Some processes are exothermic, some processes are endothermic. Exothermic process are solubility of exothermic process are decreases with increase of temperature. Exothermic process of dissolution is decreased with increase of temperature. This is according to Le Chatelier's principle only, the point. Endothermic process. Endothermic process of dissolution is increased with increase of temperature. If just to example, no need to write those. Solubility of salt in water. Sugar in water. NaOH in water. When some salt is dissolved in water, the solution becomes cool or hot after dissolution of salt in water. Anybody? Dissolution of salt in water. What happens? The temperature of solution increases or decreases?
Increases.
Decreases. Yes. No, so the solution will become cool. When you dissolve salt in water, the solution becomes cool. Even when you dissolve some sugar in water also, the solution becomes cool. This process refers, this is endothermic process. This is actually exothermic process. By dissolving NaOH in water, the solution becomes hot. This is exothermic. So by increasing temperature, solubility of salt and sugar in water we can increase. By increasing temperature, solubility also increases. Actually, room temperature salt we can dissolve only 36 grams in 100 grams of water. Only 36 grams we can dissolve in 100 grams of water. Suppose if you increase the temperature, we can dissolve more than 36 grams. Even sugar also increases. By increasing temperature, more amount of sugar we can dissolve. But NaOH is decreases. By increasing temperature, solubility of NaOH in water is decreases. That's why actually solubility of NaOH in water is carried out in ice bath. Actually, it is exothermic process. That's why by decreasing temperature, we can dissolve more amount of NaOH in water. Okay. And effect of pressure. Pressure does not affect the solubility of solid in liquid. Pressure not affect solubility of solid in liquid. Next one, solubility of gas in a liquid. Note at this point, pressure not affects the solubility of solid in liquid.
Issue.
Okay. Next one, solubility of gas in liquid. We know many gases are soluble in water easily. Oxygen gas is dissolved. HCl gas also easily dissolved. Sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide. These gases are easily soluble in water. These polar gases are easily soluble in water. That's why only aquatic animals are alive in water, because oxygen is dissolved in water. Yeah. Take one closed container. The gaseous molecule. See, solubility of gas in liquid mostly affected by pressure and temperature. With increase of pressure, the solubility of a gaseous molecule in liquid increases by applying pressure. Here also one equilibrium is existent.
Sir, your voice I can't hear. Sir, I can't hear your voice, sir.
Nobody can hear what, sir, no?
Yeah,
Sir, I
nobody
can't
can
hear
hear.
you, sir.
Sir, we cannot hear you, sir.
Sir,
Sir, you're muted. Sir, you're muted.
he can't hear us.
Sir.
Bro, fully is explaining, bro.
Sir, we can't hear you.
Sir, we can't hear you, sir.
Guys, I have called her, sir. He's coming.
Hello.
Sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
you can hear me, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, wait. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Properly? Properly?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay.
You can ask me. From long time we are not able to hear you. Oh, you can ask me what question you are.
Okay. I will explain. Sir. 1 second. Okay, listen, solubility of gas in liquid. Are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
See, I'm taking some water in a container. It's actually closed with one lid. And some gas is there over the surface of a liquid. This gaseous molecule first dissolves in liquid. And after some time, there exists a equilibrium between the soluble gas and not so unsoluble gas over the surface of a liquid that is present. Here, the rate of a dissolution of a gas in liquid becomes equal to the rate of a gaseous molecule leaving the liquid. So here also one dynamic equilibrium is existed. Any doubt here about dynamic equilibrium?
No, sir.
This dynamic equilibrium is continuation process. Suppose 100 water molecules are going inside the liquid, at the same time 100 gas molecules are leaving the liquid. The process is continuously happen, but however it maintains the same concentration. Concentration does not changes in the process of dynamic equilibrium. Previously we discussed solubility of solid in liquid also. We took saturated solution. Even here also, the rate of solubility of solid solute becomes equal to the rate of crystallization. But however, during this process, there is no change in the concentration of solution. Even here also, the concentration of solution does not change. But the process is continuously happening. Some gaseous molecules are going inside the liquid, at the same time, some gaseous molecules are coming out. Got it? That is dynamic equilibrium. Now, see Henry's law. This is the scientist Henry only first given a quantitative relationship between the solubility of gas in liquid. Dissolution of gas in liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of a gas over the surface of a liquid or solution. It's having another definition also. Note down another definition. Or partial pressure of a gas over the surface of a liquid is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas in liquid. Mole fraction of the gas in liquid. First definition completed. Nivas. Likita.
Sir?
Completed first definition.
Yes, sir.
3 lines.
Yes, sir. Done.
And draw this diagram also. Diagram and note on this point. Rate of dissolution of a gas in liquid equal to rate of gaseous molecule leaving the liquid. Right here, dynamic equilibrium existed. Then write second definition also. Partial pressure of a gas over the surface of a liquid is directly proportional to the mole fraction of gas in a liquid. Mole fraction of gas in a liquid. It's completed second definition also.
So, proportional to the mole fraction of?
Directly proportional to the mole fraction of gas in liquid. Mole fraction of gas in liquid.
Yes, sir. Completed.
All of you. Very important definition, Henry's law. I mostly prefer this only. Second definition. It's having one formula, simple formula. According to Henry's law, partial pressure. Yes, partial pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction. Partial pressure is equal to Kh into X. P is partial pressure, X is mole fraction of gas, Kh is Henry's constant. Henry's constant. P is partial pressure, X is mole fraction of gas. Partial pressure. Here mole fraction. This line. Draw that graph up. So according to Henry's law, the solubility of gas in liquid increases with increase of pressure. Pressure is directly proportional to solubility of gas in liquid, but temperature is inversely proportional. With increase of temperature, solubility of gas in liquid decreases because of KH only. Suppose KH is increased, mole fraction nothing but is only solubility term. Solubility of gas in liquid decreases. Solubility of gas in liquid decreases with increase of pressure. Sorry, with increase of temperature, with increase of temperature. Actually, with increase of temperature, KH value increases. That's why solubility of gas in liquid decreases. With increase of temperature, KH value increases and solubility of gas decreases. Completed this graph.
Yes, sir.
Very small tabular form. Gas, temperature, in Kelvin, kH. This is units are kilobar. Helium, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, again oxygen. Two ninety three, 293, 293, 303, 293, 30. KH value 144.97, 69.16, 76.48, 88.84, 34.86, 46.82. Observe this value, these four values. Nitrogen 293 Kelvin, room temperature, KH value is 76.48. Nitrogen at 303 Kelvin. By increasing temperature, KH value also increased. So then solubility becomes, what happens? Cushy. If KH value increases, solubility becomes increases or decreases?
Decreases.
Nitrogen, this room temperature further increases the temperature. KH value increases. That's why solubility decreases.
Decreases.
KH value increases, solubility decreases. Look here, oxygen 293 Kelvin at room temperature, 34.86. 303 temperature increase, KH value is also increased. So solubility becomes decreases with increase of temperature. Note down that value. Completed? See one example problem. Right problem. If N2 gas is bubbled through water, N2 gas bubbled through water at 293 Kelvin, how many millimoles of nitrogen gas? How many millimoles of nitrogen gas would dissolve in 1 liter water? Would dissolve in 1 liter of water. Assume that N2 exerts pressure, exerts a partial pressure. Exerts a partial pressure of 0.987 bar. Given that Henry's law constant for N2 at 293 Kelvin is 76.48 kilobar. All of you copied this question? Tejaswini. Ritesh,
Yes, sir.
completed question. All of you copied?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Simple. Listen solution. If N2 gas bubbled through water at 293 Kelvin, how many millimoles of nitrogen gas would dissolve in 1 liter of water? So how much nitrogen gas dissolved in 1 liter water? Assume that nitrogen gas exerts a partial pressure of 0.987 bar. So partial pressure is given 0.987 bar. Given that Henry's law constant for N2 at 293 Kelvin is 76.48 kilobar. So according to Henry's law, what is Henry's law formula? Anirudh,
P is equals to KH into X.
P is equal to
X is-
KH into X.
Yeah, more kite.
Now, X
more,
is equal P by
P by
KH.
KH.
Now, our values are given here. Partial pressure is 0.987 bar. Partial pressure is 0.987 kilobar. Okay, we have to convert that into bars. Wait. 0.987. It's only bar, not in kilobar. Value is given only in bars. This is given in kilobar. So 0.987 divided by KH value is 76.48 into 10 power 3 bar. So X is equal to 1.29 into 10 power minus 5. No doubt till here. This is mole fraction of nitrogen. Tejaswini, in this problem, what is solute and what is solvent? Vachana,
Sir,
in this problem, what is solute and what is solvent?
the solute is the nitrogen gas
Yes,
and the solvent is water.
very good. How much amount of water is given in question?
1 liter.
1 liter, good. Amount of water equal to 1 liter. Means 1 kilogram only. Water density is 1 gram per cc. So you may take as 1 K. Number of moles of water is equal to 1 liter means 1000 grams. 1000 divided by 18, 55.55 mole. So now number of moles of water is 55.55 mole. You know, this is the solution. Solvent is water, solute is nitrogen. Mole fraction of nitrogen is equal to, how to write formula? Number of moles of nitrogen
Plus number of moles of
divided by number of moles of nitrogen plus number of moles of
water.
water, correct?
Yes, sir.
Here substitute here. Mole fraction of nitrogen we calculated from Henry's law, 1.29 into 10 power minus 5. Substitute here. 1.29 into 10 power minus 5 is equal. This one we have to calculate number of moles of nitrogen. In denominator we are neglected number of moles of nitrogen. Compared with water, number of moles of nitrogen is very, very less value. That's what neglected this value. We are writing only number of moles of water in brackets. Since number of moles of nitrogen is very, very less than number of moles of water. That's what neglected. Now, number of moles of nitrogen is equal. 1.29 into 10 power minus 5 into number of moles of water is 55.55. Multiply this value, 1.29 into 55.55.
71.5.
71.71. Okay. 71.5 into 10 power minus 5. Moles. This is in moles, but we want answer in millimoles. Number of moles of nitrogen is equal to 71.5 into 10 power minus 5 divided by 1000. Wait. Into 1000, not by 1000, into 1000. So its value is 71.5 into 10 power minus 2, that is 0.715 millimole. These are the answer. It's completed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. Now listen only applications of Henry's law. What is Henry's law definition? Ritesh? Henry's law definition.
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Dilution of gas in liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of gas over the surface
Okay,
of.
stop. Enough. So dissolution of gas in liquid is directly proportional to partial pressure. You may take solubility, or partial pressure is directly proportional to mass of gas, or partial pressure is directly proportional to its mole fraction, whatever the term you take here. So finally, the amount of gas in liquid is directly proportional to its partial pressure. Pressure increases, solubility of gas in liquid also increases. Now listen its application. Which gas is present in soft drinks and soda water?
CO2.
CO2, carbon dioxide. So to dissolve carbon dioxide gas in soft drinks and soda water, we are applying high pressure. So the bottle seal also doing under high pressure also. That's one application. Next application is scuba diver. Scuba divers, while going into deep sea, they are going with gaseous tanks, correct? I think you know, while going deep sea, pressure increases. While moving higher altitude, I mean moving to hill areas, pressure decreases. Okay, listen. Suppose scuba divers going with a gaseous tank. Suppose tank contain normal gas, whatever the gas now we are breathing on from atmospheric gases. Suppose scuba divers also going with the same gas. Atmospheric gas composition is 78%, right? 78% nitrogen, nearly 20 or 21% is oxygen, and the remaining 1% is the other gases are present. Suppose scuba divers are going into deep sea with this composition. Your nitrogen composition is very much high. And while going deep sea, pressure increases. With increase of pressure, solubility of gas in liquid increases. This nitrogen gas increases the solubility in blood. Are you getting my point? Anirudh?
Yes, sir.
Gita?
Yes, sir.
With increase of pressure, solubility of gas in liquid increases. While going deep sea, due to increased pressure, solubility of nitrogen gas, not only nitrogen gas, oxygen and other gases also. Because here nitrogen gas is in high percentage. Nitrogen gas is mostly soluble in blood at high pressure. Okay. While coming up, scuba divers, while coming up, pressure decreases. While coming up from deep sea, pressure decreases. The solubility of gas in liquid also decreases. During that process, in blood vessels, this nitrogen gases won't come easily out. It creates some bubbles in the blood. While scuba diver coming up from deep sea, due to decreased pressure, the gas present in the blood also comes out. But nitrogen gas, due to high dissolution in blood, it won't come out easily. That's what it creates some bubbles in the blood. When bubbles are created in blood vessels, the flow of blood in blood vessels decreases. It causes the disease bends. Because of this bend, it causes much pain, much body pain, and sometimes it causes death also. So to avoid this bends and solubility of nitrogen in blood, we are using diluted gas. Diluted gas. In this diluted gas, using helium. Helium is 11.7%. So this gas is diluted with helium. 11.7% is helium and 30.1% oxygen. So 32.1%. 32.1% oxygen and remaining percentage is nitrogen. How much is left? 56.2% is nitrogen is maintaining. Okay, this is second application. Next one is mountain climbers, or even the people who are living in higher altitudes. Those people here, actually in higher altitude, pressure of gas is very less. Availability of oxygen also decreases. If suppose due to insufficient supply of oxygen, it decreases the sinking capacity. It leads to the disease anoxia. And also people who are living in higher altitude, to cook food, they are maintaining pressure cooker, because pressure at a higher altitude is decreases. Cooking food also not possible at low pressure. That's why those people are using cooker. So these are the applications of Henry's law. Any doubts here about Henry's law? Sainika, Tejaswini, Nivas,
No doubt, sir.
Kushi, Banu,
No, sir.
any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir. No doubts.
Anirudh? Anirudh? Okay. Next question. This is in-text question, right? H2S 2.6 in-text question. A toxic gas with a rotten egg like smell with rotten egg like smell is used for the qualitative analysis if the solubility of H2S in water at STP is 0.195 m molal. Small m means molal. Calculate Henry's law constant. Henry's law constant. Is question completed?
Yes, sir.
Now listen. Here H2S gas 0.195 molar H2S gas is present. Solubility of H2S is 0.195 m. It means 0.195 moles of H2S present in 1 kg solvent or 100,000 grams of water. Correct now? Here molal, not molar, molal, mole 0.195 moles of H2S is present in 1000 grams of water. So now calculate number of moles of solute we have. We have to calculate number of moles of solvent. Number of moles of H2O is equal to 1000 by 18. It gives 55.55. Now we have number of moles of water and number of moles of H2S. Then it's very easy to calculate mole fraction of H2S is equal to. What is the formula of mole fraction of H2S is equal? Number of moles of H2S divided by number of moles of H2S plus number of moles of water. H2S is 0.195. 0.195 plus 55.55. Calculate this total value. Total value 0.0035. So now we got only mole fraction of H2S. We have to calculate Henry's law constant. Henry's equation is partial pressure is equal to Kh into X. Kh is equal to P by X. What is P value?
So 1.013 into 10 power 5.
1 point what? What which value you are saying? Here we want partial pressure, P value. If you read the carefully question, they're given H2S, a toxic gas with a rotten egg-like smell, is used for the qualitative analysis. If the solubility of H2S in water at STP is given. STP means partial pressure is, as that means STP pressure is P is equal to 1 bar. That is equal to 1 atmosphere.
So
0.987 bar. So either you use 1 atmosphere or bar, your wish. So Kh is equal to 0.987 bar divided by X value 0.0035. Kh is equal. Kh is 282 bar. This answer. Okay, completed?
Yes, sir.
All of you.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts about Henry's
No,
law?
sir. No, sir.
Important in this law, and tomorrow we are going to be discuss about Raoult's law. Very, very important in this chapter. The remaining chapter completely depends upon Raoult's law only. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys. Bye.